Okay, so look at this, natural disasters and how to be prepared, the preparedness for them. So here we have some exponents of vocabulary about natural disasters. Sandy, is there any word that is non-familiar for you?
Let me see. Well, I understand what means solar flares, but I don't know what is exactly. I think it's like explosion in in the sun. So I suppose that, but I don't. I really don't know.
Aha, that's it. All right. Emiliano, do you know what is it? A solar flare?
No,
No?
no
Well, yeah.
idea.
Okay, Sandy. Yes, you're right. Emiliano and Sandy. It is an explosion that happens in the sun. And of course, it affects to life in all the planetary system. Well, we are supposed to be the only ones who are living in the planetary system. I want to think that we are the only ones, but who knows? But yes, it's when the sun has an hyperactivity that can dry the water and everything. Not it can cause tremendous damage. Okay, so
Wow.
anything else?
Mm, mm, mm. No, I don't think so. No, not for me.
Excellent, thank you. Emiliano, any word that is non-familiar for you? Emiliano, hello. Don't be shy. Maybe he's having problems with his microphone. All right, you know what? I would like you to write in the chat a very short explanation about, oh yes, he was having problems with the internet signal. All right,
Yeah.
so
Do
could you,
you want to do you want to have to do you want to Ay, ¿quieres esperarlo un momento? I'm sorry.
yeah, you know what? It is okay, but I think that we could take advantage of time if you start writing in the chat. I want to
Okay.
check something about grammar and spelling.
Mm,
And so,
perfect.
explain me, please, any natural disaster. It could
Mm,
be an earthquake, drought, blizzard, landslide, whatever you may like.
okay. Mm, mm. Well, I hope so. There it is.
Thank you very much. So let's check it. Landslides are when solid made itself smoothly and fell down, usually from the top of a mountain. Excellent. Hey, that's pretty good, Sandy. Very good. No
I
corrections.
no, it's Mowgli. It's like that with double G, right?
Aha, yes, that's it with double G.
Perfect.
No, that's perfect. Thank you.
Well, thank you.
Emiliano. All right. Emiliano, well,
Sorry, I lost my connection.
Yeah,
there
don't,
was a blackout.
yeah, so don't worry. You know what? We are writing in the chat so that we can check grammar and spelling. So the task is to explain any natural disaster, any that you would like to explain.
Okay, let me see.
Maggie, can I try other?
Oh yes, of course, please.
Thank you.
My pleasure.
That's it. Thank you, Maggie.
Excellent, Sandy. Thank you very much. So, disease is when a microorganism, parasite, virus, or more actually a prion, made some animal, including human being.
It's being. Okay, not
Uh,
being. Oh, thank you.
being, yeah, it's okay. Or plant gets sick in some cases. It could recover or die. It could recover.
Oh,
It,
in present.
uh,
Recover.
yeah, because
Like a noun? No.
uh,
Yes.
you know why? Because with the verb could, you are
Oh,
mentioning that it is in
yes.
past.
Thank you. Yeah, I get that.
Die, okay, and die should be in present because
In the
you
future.
are not talking about something that happened in the past. You are talking about something possible.
And they could affect diet, right?
Yes, that's it. It could
Okay.
recover, podría recobrarse o morir.
Exactly. Okay. Perfect. Thank you.
My pleasure. Okay, Emiliano, very good. Fires is when a large part of land set in fire. It could happen by human activity or for higher temperatures. Hey, that's great. Thank you very much. That's pretty good. Okay, so you know what? Now, please, let's go to the next image. Here we have, look at this. Here we have some images about some other natural disasters. For example, this one. What is it at the top left?
It's a fire.
Excellent. Yes, it's a fire. Okay. So what about the top right?
That's it's
Tsunami.
a tsunami.
Well, it may be a tsunami or it would be a hurricane. Do you
That
think
could be.
Maybe, yeah.
hurricane? Okay. Uh, what about this one? What is it at the bottom left?
Earthquake.
Earthquake?
It could be an earthquake. Somebody told me also that it was a hurricane.
Could be too.
Yes, it
Aha.
could be.
And another student told me, no, that was a tornado.
Oh,
Probably.
could be too.
I don't know how it looks a disaster by tornado, so I don't know.
Don't you think so? Well, maybe in some places where the houses are not made of concrete,
Good?
yeah, when they are made of wood, maybe.
Mm.
Okay, so what about this? What
That
Earthquake
looks landslide.
landslide or
Probably.
an earthquake, as Sandy said?
Yes.
or a volcano, you know? When the
Ah,
volcano tremble, well, like an earthquake too,
oh,
but
yeah.
for the volcano.
Yeah, but yes, you're right. The volcano activity includes some kind of like earthquakes previous to the eruption.
Mm.
Jesus, it is so scaring.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, here we have a phrase. We cannot stop natural disasters, but we can arm ourselves with knowledge so many lives wouldn't have to be lost if there was enough disaster preparedness. And this was said by Petra Nemkova. So, Emiliano, what do you think about this phrase?
I think, well, I agree because that that things happen every time before the humans being on the earth. So in, in it's something natural, but it's a disaster for us because affect to us. But yes, the only thing we can do it is to be prepared for the cases. For example, here in Mexico for the earthquakes, we prepare what we need to do in that moment and after that moment.
Yeah, you're right. It is something that we can't predict. But yes, we can prevent in any way. Okay, Sandy, what do you think about this?
I think Emiliano explained very well about the prevent disasters. I agree because, like he said, it's very important to be prepared in Mexico for earthquakes. But well, here in Sweden, we don't have earthquakes. We have maybe blizzards like that, or maybe fire in the woods.
Fire.
But I think the natural disasters modify depend of the geographical area, and you need to be prepared whatever you are, you know.
Yeah, you're right. I agree with you, but it was so interesting for me to listen what you said about that maybe, well, not earthquakes but fires. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
what is the season when there could be some fires in Sweden?
A lot because we have well, in the country they have the policy that mm, in this country the third part of the land must to be natural area. Then the ecosystem here is woods, different type of woods, but woods at the last of the time. And then, for example, last summer we have a terrible dry. I don't know how do you say, you
Drought.
drought, a terrible drought, sequía, drought,
Yes, that's it, drought.
because the temperature increased a lot, more than.
Sandy, hello. Are you there?
Here, I'm here. Sorry, no,
It's
I
okay,
don't know
don't
what's
worry.
happened. Well, started fires in the woods because we are in drought and we don't have water, and of course we have a lot of land with woods. Then fire, and it's a dangerous situation because inside the woods we have houses here, and then of course the people were in danger.
Yes, of course. So yes, it can be a very scary situation if something like that happens.
Hmm.
Okay, thank you very much for sharing that information, Sandy.
My
Okay,
pleasure.
all right, Emiliano, what what do you think
Yes.
about this?
About what?
Could you explain any situation that you have seen or that you have lived?
Mm, well, the last situation of a disaster I lived was the earthquake of 2017
Where were you when it happened?
in my house, at my house.
And is it a house? I don't know. It is not a department, I think.
No,
Oh my, because as far as I am concerned, for the people who were living in apartments in maybe a third or fourth floor, it was really scaring.
yes, well, when that happened, don't, I don't thought it was so bigger disaster. I just think it was another earthquake as usual. So I back to my activities as normal.
So you didn't
So
know what was happening.
yes, and where well there were a blackout, so I don't have access to internet. The cell phones don't work, so I don't know nothing about the disaster till around 4 o'clock, maybe five, when my mom called me and told me what happened in the city.
My goodness. So yes, well, it was something really difficult, really sad what happened. But well, for you it was good not to know at the moment everything because maybe you could have been in panic.
Yes, but for example, my mom works in a kindergarten, so for her was um, I don't know what word to use. It was horrific,
It was terrifying.
terrifying. Yes,
Yeah, to be in charge of children and to make them feel safe.
safe. Yes,
And to be safe, not only to make them feel safe, but also to get them safe. Jesus Christ. Yes, it was really difficult.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
Okay, so guess what? Let's go to the next part. Give me a moment. All right, here we go. Here we have a, don't go. Okay, here we have a scheme about how we can get to the pain mitigation. Of course, whenever there is an emergency situation, the one thing that people need is the pain mitigation. How can people go to that part? How can people get mitigation to their pain? Well, first of all, we have to assure that the population has community resilience. What do you think it is? What's your idea about this, Sandy?
Um, well, I did didn't have idea until the last class because I don't know. I don't remember if Gemma explained that, but she said that resilience is the capacity of the people to affront a situation and take the normality or something like that.
Yeah, to undergo
Undergo. Mm-hmm.
any difficult situation and continue.
Mm-hmm.
And this is a term that is used for ships when they are going to sink. And so resilience is the time that the ship lasts before they sink in an accident. So applied to psychology, they say that it's how people can undergo different difficult situations, and of course not to become, but to try to continue with their everyday life. All right, thank you, Sandy. Emiliano, what do you think about this? Have you heard that term before?
Yes, but I don't know how to explain on English. But yes, is what you say. What undergo with the situation and don't give it up.
Yeah, that's it. All right, thank you. Well, they say that for getting this community resilience, first of all, people need public information and warning. Uh, Emiliano, do you think that here in Mexico we have that public information?
Yes, it's. I think we are now well prepared for the situation of earthquakes.
Maybe more than before, yes.
Yes, for example, in my current job, we have several. I don't know how to say simulacros.
Simulacrum or rehearsal.
Okay, simulacrums. And also, I think in all the places you go, you know where the exits are located. There are things or safety places or the routes of evacuation.
That's it.
So I think we have uh, that public information on what to do. And also we have the people trained to guide the other people as the, I don't know how to say it in English, brigadistas,
Oh my, rescue team.
rescue team, because, well, in my office, there is a rescue team by floor. So
Hey, I'm sorry.
they they give us the indications what to do when we can evacuate the building. So yes, I think we have the information, and also we have the alerta sísmica.
Mm-hmm.
It's a warning.
Yes, that's it. And that's, well, yes, you're right. We have lots of information about what to do in case of any disaster. And we train children for maybe not to have a very good evacuation, but to see this not as a moment where they can be in panic, but to be calm and to know, to think what to do, and to try to do the correct thing, not to run, not to lose calm.
Yes.
All right, pretty good, thank you. Sandy, what about you? You have explained to us that in Sweden there are not very frequent natural disasters, but what happens with the information about any case?
Mm, we have several types of alarms for in radio, for example, in internet, and we have alarms for the extreme wind, like a blizzard, but it's not only with snow. It could be just wind, a strong wind. It's not a hurricane, but it could be broke the branches in the trees. And like I said, we have a lot of woods here. Then it's a risk to go on to walking into the woods when the wind blows strongly. Then we have an alarm for that. Then we have an alarm for extreme snowing. It's not like a natural disaster because it's natural like snow here and we are prepared. But if increase a lot or block the trains or the buses or the highways or whatever, we have a kind of alarm for that. And what else? And we have a simulacrum all the months for disasters, but not natural disasters. It's like in case of war or in case of uh, external attack, like in a war, we have a simulacrum too, an alarm sound, and you must to recognize the sound and well take a plan that they give to the people in the country in a notebook,
Aha.
and you have to do that, and that's it.
Hey, that's it. So it attracts my attention that you mentioned the situation about war. Mm,
Mm.
well, for me, well, in Mexico, you know that it is not so common to talk about war or to be prepared for something like strange.
Yes,
But
it's not a common thing, but maybe it must to be because we have a lot of civil problems like narcotráfico.
aha,
And
yeah,
maybe we must, like Mexicans, start to plan what we need to do in case of, I don't know, shotguns. I want to say balacera, but I don't know how do you say that in English. Shotguns, I suppose.
yeah, yeah, you're right. All
Maybe
right.
it's not a natural disaster, but it's a human disaster, and it's a problem for the people.
Yeah, it's an emergency situation.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's it. You know what? You're right. I haven't thought about it before. But yes, what would it happen if we were in the middle of a shotgun? What should we do? Oh
Mm.
my. Yeah. Thank you. Emiliano, have you thought about it before?
About the including sharings?
Yeah, so it can also be an emergency.
Yes, it um yes, also in some states of our country, I think they have simulacrums about that,
Mm.
You know
how
what?
the kids in the schools should do when happens and how to protect them.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. Well, here in Mexico State, I haven't ever heard about something like that. But yes, maybe in some states, time
I
ago,
think it is in Sinaloa, Nuevo León.
uh-huh. Yeah, you're
It's
right.
in some states.
Yeah, you're right. But I think that we should be prepared also because who knows when it could happen.
Yes, exactly.
It's a risk.
Yeah.
All right, thank
Uh,
you very much. Okay, so now let's talk about the long-term vulnerability reduction. What is it? We have to reduce the term vulnerability. What do you think about this, Andy?
I think when people um, go through this natural disaster and lost their family or their houses or their things, or I don't know, they feel invulnerability, not safe.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Then the government must to have a plan to reduce that situation.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe giving shelter to these people or having a program to find the families between them, the individuals and their families, or something like that.
Yeah, they must do it. They
Mm.
must pay attention to that situation. Okay, thank you, Sandy. Emiliano, what do you think about this?
Well, I guess that it referred to when the disaster happens, have the, I don't know, the means to give help to the people who need it.
Uh-huh.
It's in the, as it is the name say, oh no, sorry, it's long-term vulnerability reduction. So I think it's how after the disaster pass, uh, what the what we need to do. For example, when the earthquake happens in Mexico, all the people gave help, but after some months, even some people don't have a house or don't have where to live. And I think that it's what means long-term vulnerability reduction. It's about how uh, in the long time you will reduce the vulnerability of the people.
Yeah, you're right. I totally agree with you. Yes, it talks about how long they are going to be exposed to risks or to the situation of being without a home, to be homeless. Well, not to be
Yes.
homeless, but yes, you know what? I heard that in the previous earthquake in Mexico City, there were many people, a lot of people, who lost their houses. And of course, the government took some actions about it and they gave some houses, but there were many people who didn't have a house again. Many of them were homeless, and
Mm.
many of them were all even looking for food in the trash. So the vulnerability that people had was really for a long, long time. And as you said, Emiliano, some people was helping at first, but little by little, people was getting tired and people was stopping their help to people. So it, instead of reducing the long-term vulnerability, it increased the term of the vulnerability. And so There were people who even 2 years ago, they were in a very bad situation. So it's how to do it, how to reduce it so that people can be fined as soon as possible. So how do you think it could be done? Sandy, if you were an authority, how would you do this reduction?
Well, it's very difficult to say because, well, I worked at government and I know about how the money flow there for these special programs. I think people think the natural disaster are not likely. It's not probable that occur. But in Mexico, we have earthquakes a lot. It's not likely. It's super probable that like you live an earthquake in Mexico City
Yeah.
at least. Then we need to have money, like not like not likely situation. It's a probable situation, and we need to do a special fund to prepare things or I don't know programs to have houses for people that lost theirs or something like that. But the first situation is to free the money and don't have it like a not likely situation. Instead, we need to have it like a probable situation that it will be occur, yes or yes, because it's a seismic zone.
Yeah, that's it. All right, Sandy, thank you very much. That was brilliant. So,
Thank you.
thank you. Emiliano, what about you? What would you do if you were maybe a politician or any authority?
I don't know. I think um, it's a difficult situation because you can be prepared for all the variables the of a disaster, but well, I think here in our country, we have a lot of corruption, and that affects so much how the help uh, is delivered to the people.
Yeah, you're right. You're totally right. Well, I would like you to do me a favor. Let's write in the chat the same ideas, but we are going to use the third conditional. So we are going to write as if we could have been in that moment. Example. I am going to write some examples. If I had if I had been working for the government during the 2017 earthquake, uh, uh, I would have created a program for providing people from food. Okay, this is earthquake. Okay, of course, this is not a serious proposal, but it's an example. What I want to manage is the third conditional. Could you please?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, I'm sorry, my correction. Providing people with food.
Mm. I'm sorry, I'm sorry.
Bless you.
Thank you, sorry for that.
Oh, it's okay,
I
don't worry.
couldn't mute my microphone.
Ah, don't worry, it's okay.
I have several doubts about my grammar.
You know what? Yes, there are some things that we have to polish about, for example, how you use the must and some other auxiliary verbs.
Yeah. Mm. Okay.
But we are going to be polishing all of those mistakes. You know what? I think that the best way to do it is to write, because when we speak, of course, we have some slips, some mistakes that we commit and we don't realize. But when we are writing, we have the opportunity for watching what we are doing and edit it to correct it. And if we
Exactly.
don't do it, it's because we have a doubt in there. So you wrote, if I had been at stakeholder position in the government during the last big earthquake, I would have changed it in past.
Oh, yes, true. Change it.
The rule
Yeah.
to manage the rules. I guess it should be in plural. The
Yes, it
rules
could be. Yeah.
to manage the money, to manage money, not to use the THE. We are,
Okay.
yeah, we are going to use the THE when we talk about a particular situation,
Money. Mm-hmm.
to manage money. If we
Exactly.
said to manage the money that was donated by, then you are
Mm,
talking about a specific one. But yes, if you talk in general, not you should not to use the THE
okay, I get that.
to manage money, and I would have accessed to them and used immediately to build in present,
Oh, yeah.
to build houses.
No, yes, because it's two. Yeah.
Yeah, no, you know what? You are right, but there are some things that we should polish, as I told you before.
No, thank you. I appreciate that correction because now I can check when I write or I try do it when I talk too.
Yeah, that's it. So that's why I like you to be writing in the chat so that we
Yeah.
can, if there was something that you didn't pay attention to, or it may be a doubt that you have and that we could out. Okay, Emiliano, if I had been for the moment during the 17 earthquake, comma, I would have suggested in past
Okay.
that every new construction in the city should have a structure, not an, because the word
Oh yes, there is no vocal. Yeah.
structure that supports, because if you talk about one, it's a third person that supports the impact of an earthquake. Also, for those buildings that fell down, um,
Okay.
but the verb in here is not to fall down, is to crumble. When you talk about buildings, derrumbarse,
Okay.
that
Crumble.
crumbled, that crumbled.
Crumbled also
Okay.
means migajas.
That's it, but it's whenever something breaks down and fall into pieces.
I get that.
Yeah,
Thank you.
my pleasure. And so for those buildings that crumbled and were constructed in the last decade, they should, yeah, all right. Also for those buildings that fell and were constructed in the last decade, the damage should be repaired.
Okay.
Yeah, because here I couldn't understand very well the idea, but if we change the order, it is so much easier. Okay, the
Okay.
damage be repaired.
Okay. Thank you.
Excellent, thank you. Why? Well, could you write one more? You both,
Yes.
Emiliano and
Yes.
Sandy? Thank you. Yeah, crumble means into Spanish desmoronarse.
Desmoronarse.
That's
Perfect.
why, yeah, that's why we talk about a building after an earthquake.
How do you say facilitar? Easy? No, and it's not easy, right?
To get,
To get easy.
to get easy or to get available.
Available. That's it.
Okay, excellent. If I had been working for the government during the 2017 earthquake, I would have prepared a master plan to join the people who lost their house or their family in a well-known place to get available help. Yeah, that's it. In this case, yes, you're right with get available, but we can say provide. We can use provide.
Okay. Provide. Yes.
Provide
Okay.
them with help.
I need to put them, provide them, because
Ajá, proveerlos.
yeah. Okay. Perfect.
Great. Thank you.
I think it's a little better than the other one.
Yeah, too much. Yeah, too much. In the previous one, yes, we had to check something about plurals, plural and singular, and tenses. But now in this one, everything was okay.
Thank you.
All
I
right.
feel better. Yay.
Yeah, you do. All right, Emiliano. If I had been working for the government during the 2017 earthquake, I would have designed a program to relocate people that lost their homes, but also finding the means to make. Remember that if we have to, the next verb should be in the normal form to make
Okay.
it financial functionality. Financially functional.
Okay.
It would be other way around. Financially functional. Hey, you are making great progress. You know what? I think that it would be very good that we continue more than talking, writing, so that we can polish grammar.
Yes.
Okay, well, I think that we are going to do it next class because this
Okay.
one we have already finished. Well, I thank you so much for your participation. It was really beautiful, brilliant. And thank you for your attendance and your attention. You are great students.
Thank you, teacher.
Thank you, teacher. Good night, Emiliano, and good night, Maggie. Have a
Thank
nice
you.
weekend.
Thank you. Likewise, and have a very good day and try to take a nap because,
Yes.
yes, you sleep so little. All right. Thank you very much and have a very good night. Emiliano, have a very good day, Sandy.
See you.
Thank you.
Bye bye.
See you. Meet
Bye.
you next class.